Hey, this is Asaf from LickNRiff.com, and it's time for another viewer request. And in this video, we're gonna have a Sound of Music special. We're gonna learn a fingerstyle medley I've made especially for you guys and girls of my favorite things and do, re, mi. Now, it's not as much a medley as it is just two fingerstyle arrangements of both songs, but their scales fit, so you can play them one after the other, just like I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna play it for you so you can see and hear how it goes, and then we're gonna break it down lick by lick with tabs on the screen and everything. I'm gonna show you exactly how to play this and how you can make your own arrangement out of this. So, without further ado, it goes like this. Enjoy. Okay, so we begin with this. Okay, we're playing my favorite things first. This is just E minor. Okay, we're playing strings 1, 2, 3, and 6. Now, this, of course, is a full E minor chord, but we're not playing strings 4 and 5, so we don't have to put them on. Okay, we don't have to put any fingers on the fretboard yet. Now we do. We play the 7th fret of the E string, okay, twice, so it sounds like this, okay? Then we take this up a string, up physically, but down musically, pitch-wise, to the 2nd string, okay, 7 on the 2nd string, and we play that along with the 3rd and 6th strings, so we can play the chord along with the melody note, and it sounds like this, okay? And then we play the E string again, so we get this, okay? So it's, okay? And we play the E string twice, okay? So it's, okay? So it's E minor and 7 twice, then 7 on the B string with E minor, okay, this is the E minor outline, and then we play the E string twice, okay, this is it so far, and then we play strings 2, 3, and 6, then we play the E string twice, then we play 7 on the B string again with the 3rd and 6th strings again, then the E string once, okay? So what we have for the 2nd phrase is this, okay? And together they go like this. Okay? This is the first line. Now the second line is exactly the same. Okay, you play exactly the same thing on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. but you change the bass note. Okay? You put your second finger on the 8th fret of the E bass, okay, making this a C bass. Okay? This, okay, the C bass, that's the same note. And now when you play the open first, second, and third strings, it's C major 7. Okay? Because if you put on a C chord and you take the finger off, then you have the first, second, and third strings open with the C bass, and it's the same thing. Okay, so it's C major 7. And you play exactly the same lick, okay? A series of licks, exactly the same phrase. So it's only this time with 8 on the bass. So it's C major 7. It's the same melody upon a different harmony. So again, C major 7, 7, 7 on the E string, then C major 7, but the melody note is 7 on the B string, E string twice, then C major 7 without the E string, then the E string twice, then 7 on the B string again with the chord, then the E string again. So what we have so far is pretty simple. It's both line, it's the same line on both chords. So bass change. Okay? Make sure you're using your second finger for the C bass, so you have your first finger free to put it on the 7th fret. Okay, now the second line is this. Okay? Okay, it begins like this. So it's the chords are A minor and D. Now A minor is just a bar, half a bar on the first, second, and third strings, along with the A bass. You bar it on the 5th fret. Okay? Okay, and you have the first you have your first finger on the 5th fret. Okay, on the first, second, and third strings, along with an open A bass. Okay? So what you play is this. Okay, you play the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th strings. And then, using your pinky, on the E string, you play 7 and 5. Okay, you just put your pinky on and take it off. Or your 3rd finger. Okay, you can even use your 2nd finger, but that's really uncomfortable, so I use my pinky. Okay, and then you put on a D chord, okay, just a normal D chord, and you take your 2nd finger off of the E string, so you have a D sus2 chord, okay, open E string, and you play that. You play strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you put your 2nd finger back on the E string on the 2nd fret, and you play that, and then you play the 2nd string, which is on 3, okay? It's inside the chord. So you get this. Okay? So what we have so far is this. Okay? A minor, D. Then leave your 3rd finger on the 2nd string and put your 1st finger on the B bass, on 2 on the A string. Okay, and you pick strings 2, 3, and 5. And this is G over B, because if this is G and you're not playing either one of the E strings, then you only have this left. Okay? So this is G over B. It's G with a B bass. So this is G over B, and you play it, strings 2, 3, and 5. And then, using your pinky, leave the fingers on so the chord keeps ringing. Using your pinky, play 5 and 3 on the E string. Okay, you can slide it if you want, instead of taking it off. Okay, and then a C chord, and you play the second, third, and fifth strings again. Okay, so you get this. Okay, so the entire line goes like this. Go, go. Okay, probably wants to sleep. So, just like this one, he's sleeping. A minor, D, G over B, C. So from the top we have this: E minor, C major 7, A minor, D, G over B, C. Okay? Now before we move on, I just want to show you ways you can play with this already. You can make your own arrangement out of this and play it a bit differently every time you play it. So what you can do is you can just toy around with the licks, and you can add your own embellishments. For example, I like to do this. Okay, I like to pull off the 7 off of the E string. Okay, and every time I play the 7 on the B string, I bend it a little. Okay, I bend it a bit out of tune. That's just how I like it, but you can pull it off as well. You can use the 8th fret as well. Okay, if you want, or you can use the 5th fret. Okay, something like this. You can change the melody a little, but I suggest you don't do it on the first time around. You play it differently on the second time around. You have 2 rounds of this line. You play this line first with a first ending chord, and then you play this line again with a second ending chord, which we're gonna get to. So the first time, play it, you know, play the normal melody, and then the second time around you can embellish it a little. Okay, or okay, something like this. Now you can embellish this as well. Okay, you can hammer on and pull off the melody notes. Okay, and add the second string if you want. Okay, you can slide into the 5 if you want. Just try it. Try different versions and see what you like. Okay, not all of your ideas will sound good, just like not all of my ideas sound good, but some of them do, and those that sound good are worth keeping and playing and toying with. So just make experiments. Okay, the next line is this. Okay, the melody is just 0, 1, 3 on the B string, and then 0, 2, 3 on the E string. Okay, now there are 2 bass notes here. The first bass note is B, so it's 2 on the A string, and you play that along with 0 on the B string. Okay, so it's B. And then the second bass note is A, and you play that with 0 on the E string. Okay, just A. The A string. Now you can harmonize with the G string when you play the B bass. Okay, and then the G note keeps ringing throughout and gives sort of a pedal note melody. Okay, the G string is still ringing just faintly in the background, creating a bit of harmony. You don't have to. Okay, and then you play this. Now he wants to go too. wants to go sleep on the floor. Okay, this is F sharp minor 7 flat 5, or F sharp half diminished. Now I play it with a double bar. You can do this, okay? It's 5 5 5 on the first, second, and third strings, and 4 on the D string. Okay, so it's okay. So it's either this, using all of your fingers, or barring the 4th fret and barring the 5th fret with your 3rd finger. Okay, you can do it with your 2nd finger, but that puts a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of pressure on the tendon. So the 3rd finger is more comfortable for me, at least. So, okay, you bar the 4th fret just for the bass note, and you bar the 5th fret with another finger. Okay, either way is fine. They sound exactly the same. Okay, whichever one is more comfortable for you. So this is F sharp half diminished, or minor 7 flat 5. And then 7 and 5 on the E string. Okay? You can do it with your pinky and leave the chord on. And keep it ringing. Now the first ending chord is B7. Okay, now I suggest you do it like this. You bar the 2nd fret, you put your pinky or the 3rd finger on 4 on the B string, and you play 2nd, 3rd, and 5th strings. Okay, because this is consistent with the sort of harmony we played throughout, just 3 notes. Okay, and this is very clean. If we add this note, okay, for the full B7, this is, I don't know, it's just a bit too cluttered in my opinion, so this is a bit cleaner. It separates the melody and the harmony in your head, in your ear, if this makes any sense. So it's, okay, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7, okay? This is the first ending chord. So, the entire line. We went over this. C, B, A, F sharp half diminished, B7, okay? Then you play it again. Okay? Okay, I was just toying around. Then the second ending chord is this. This is A diminished, okay? It's 8 on the first string, 7 on the second string, 8 on the third string, 7 on the fourth string. Okay, 8, 7, 8, 7. Okay? A diminished chord. It's A diminished. Now, you play it with your pinky, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger. Okay? 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 4th. Okay? So, what we had so far is this. E minor, C major 7, A minor, D, G over B, C, B bass, A bass, F sharp half diminished, B7. Then again. A minor, C, B, A, F sharp half diminished, A diminished. Okay? And you're done with the A part. Okay? So congratulations for getting this far. Now, the B part. The B part begins like this. It's just E minor again with 7 on the E string, so you play the bass and then the chord. Okay? You can play the chord once and the melody twice more. Okay? Up to you. And then open E string. And then A minor. Remember, you bar the 5th fret. You play that the same way. Okay, 3 times. But the final note here is a different chord altogether. It's B7. Same way you played it before. So, and then it's this. E minor to C again. Okay, I say again because this was E minor to C major 7. So, same chord change. Without the major 7. So, this time it's E minor with 3 on the E string. Okay, and you pull it off, okay, 3 to 0, after you play the 3rd time. And then you play the B string. Then you play C. And you play the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings with the bass. Okay? And then you have the rest of the bar to fill. And you fill it any way you want, okay? Okay, or don't know. Okay, anyway, fits because it's just a chord playing in the background. So, and then this line again. Okay, only this time the bass notes are B and C. Okay, so it's B and then C. Okay, B with 0, 1, 3 on the B string. You can harmonize with the G string again. And then C with 0, 1, 3 on the E string. Okay, C of course is 3 on the A string. If I need to tell you that, then maybe you're watching the wrong lesson. Okay, you need to go to a beginner lesson. Then we have this line. Okay, this is kind of a series of jazz chords, of jazzy chords. Okay, it's a diminished to half diminished to 7 to diminished. It's diminished, half diminished, 7, diminished. And then a 6th chord. Okay, it's D6, and then G. So let's go over this slowly. We were here. Okay, so remember the A diminished chord with your pinky on 8. Take that down to 3. Okay, your pinky on 3. So it's 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so this is E diminished. You play that once, and then 5, 3 on the E string, then the F sharp half diminished again, and then this chord. This is simply G7. Now why is this G7? This is G7 because if you take the D7 chord up 5 frets, okay, and you take the bass note up 5 frets as well, you get G7, okay? D7, D sharp 7, E7, F7, F sharp 7, G7. Okay, very simple. So again, 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 4th fingers. Okay, kind of the same fingering string-wise like the diminished chord. And the keen-eyed of you will have noticed that the diminished chord and this 7th chord shape are kind of similar. And that's true because a diminished chord is a 7th chord with its bass note up 1 fret, or with the entire chord down 1 fret, leaving the bass note on. For example, if we want to change this G7 into a diminished chord, we either take the bass note up 1 fret and then it's G sharp diminished, or we take the entire chord down and leave the finger, the note, the bass note on 5, and then it's G diminished. Okay, so basically you can call G sharp diminished, you can call it G7 over G sharp. Okay, that's another way to look at it. But enough about diminished chords. I hope that my explanation kind of helped you understand a bit of the logic behind the diminished chord, but let's move on and play my favorite things. Finish playing it. So you play the chord and then the E string twice more. Then you play the A diminished chord again. Okay, and you can either play it once or you can fill the bar, again, in any way you want. Okay, or any way you want. Then this, which is D6. You bar the 7th fret, just like you barred the 5th fret for the A minor chord. You bar the 7th fret on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings and play the open D chord, the open D string. And this is D6. Now, why is this D6, you ask? Well, good question. A looks like this. If you want A6, you add the second fret of the 1st string. Okay, so this is A6. Now take it up to D and add 7 on the E string, which is its 2nd fret, because if this is the 0 fret upwards to 5, then this is its 2nd fret. So this is the A6 shape up to D6, and if D, okay, if this D note is the open D string, then you can play it like this. Okay, 7, 7, 7, and open D string. Again, I hope it was clear enough. If not, rewind it and you'll get it eventually, because it's the same shape as A6. That's the whole logic behind this. But again, we don't need the entire cluttered chord, the entire block chord. So again, economic. Now you play this D6. We're almost done with my favorite things, and then G. Okay, now you can slide down to it. Okay, I like the sound of the slide. Okay, now you can again complete the bar, but there's a catch. You need to make a transition into Do, Re, Mi. Okay, so wait with the G chord while we go over the B part again. Okay, and then we'll talk about the transition, and then we'll learn Do, Re, Mi. So E minor. Okay, remember, with 7 on the with the 7 on the E string. A minor, B7, E minor to C. Fill it. B, C, E diminished, F sharp half diminished, G7, A diminished, D6, G. Okay? Now, we need to make a transition into Do, Re, Mi. And the catch here is that it's a different rhythm. Both songs are in 2 different rhythms. My favorite things is in 6/8 time. It's in 6/8 rhythm. It's 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and Do, Re, Mi is in 4/4 time. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, dun da dun da dun 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 da 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 da. Okay, 4/4 time. You need to make the change. Now, how do you make it smoothly? You can either finish on G, and when you play the G chord, you start with Do, Re, Mi right away, like this. and it's unconspicuous. It's like this. Okay, I forgot to play this note, which is the final melody note. And then work your way slowly up to filling the bass notes. Okay, and then start filling in. Just play the melody first and then add more bass notes. Or you can play the 6/8 time and slow it down and then start playing do re mi and build up your speed again, like this. Okay, did you get what I do here? I slowed down the 6/8 time until the 6/8 rhythm until it was barely recognizable, and then I started adding the melody and built it up into 4/4 and sped it up again. Okay? Okay? You get it? Or you can just stop and play the melody. And then start again. Okay, you have so many ways of doing this. Okay, there are as many ways as you can be creative. Okay, you can find a lot more ways to play this. Okay, you can make a bass transition, you can do a small solo. Okay, you can go crazy here. You don't have to make the transition right away. Let me try and show you what I mean. Something like this, or that worked. Kid was just playing the scale. Okay? You see, you can come up with as many ways as you like. Do re mi. Let's learn this. Again, just like with the transition, you have as many ways to play this because the melody is very simple and the chord progression is also very simple, so you can play it in many ways. You can play the chord once and playing the melody and then adding another chord whenever you feel like it. Okay? Or you can just play a continuous bass line. Okay, or you can arpeggiate it. Okay, or you can, I don't know, you can strum it. Okay, you can combine all of these techniques. Okay, again, make your own arrangement of this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you the melody and the chords you need to play along with the melody. I'm gonna teach you the melody and the harmony. Okay, of course, that's the basis. And then, you know, it's up to you to experiment with it. I don't want you to play exactly like I play and exactly what I play, because I don't play exactly what I play. I play with it all the time and I change my arrangement as I see fit. So you should too. Be creative with your playing. Take risks, okay? Try new things and then you know what works and what doesn't. Okay, having said that, let's begin. It's G. Okay, and you don't have to put anything on but the bass note, 3 on the E string. And the melody note is the open G string, so you can harmonize with the D string as well. Okay, now a rule of thumb, you can always harmonize with the lower string. Okay, if you play the G string, harmonize with the D string. If you're playing the B string, harmonize with the G string. Okay, that's kind of a trick I like to do, and it works really good here. So open G string, and then 2 on the G string, open B string. Okay, 2 on the G string, open B string, and then G string, B string, G string, B string, open. Okay, that's it. That's the first line. Okay, now again, you can add bass notes. You can add chords. You can add a continuous bass line. Okay? And then it's this. Okay? It's 2 on the G string with the D bass here. So you're basically playing a D chord, a melody over a D chord here. So you're playing D5. Okay? To make it simple, this is D5. And then 4-5-5 on the G string, 4-2 on the G string. Okay, so it's all on the D string, the melody. 2-4-5-5 4-2. Okay, and again you can add bass notes. And then D7. Now I just play strings 2, 3, and 4, so I don't even put the finger on 2 on the E string. You can do it. Okay, but then the E string takes the attention away from this, which is the C note, and it's the melody note. So I just play this. So okay, and then you have the bar to fill. So again, fill it any way you want. And then G again. Okay, so the melody this time is 0 on the B string. Okay, it's all on the B string this time. It's 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3. Okay? 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3. And then it's C. Okay? And your melody is 1 on the B string, 3 on the B string with your pinky, then E string twice, 3, 1 on the B string, then E string again. So it's pretty simple. Now with adding the chord. Okay, and I harmonize with the G string all the time. Okay, or okay, adding a bass note. Okay, and strumming and and arpeggiating. Okay, you can do whatever you like here. It's a very simple melody. It's not like my favorite things where you have to play exactly what's written, because you know chords change all the time. This is one chord, continuous chord with a melody on it, a very simple melody. So by the way, if you think it's strange that this is a song about do re mi and we're playing it in the key of G, which is sol, it's just because it's more comfortable on the guitar. That's it. And to fit the scale along with my favorite thing, so you can play them both together. Okay, that's the only reason. The only reason I'm playing it on G instead of C, because it's a bit simpler. So we were here. Okay, so from the top, G. Okay, 2 on the G string, and then open G string and B strings. Then D, 2, 4, 2 on the third string. 2, 4, 5, 5, 4, 2, D7. G, and on the B string. 1, 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3. Then C, 1 on the B string, 3 on the B string, E, 3, 1 on the B string, E again. Okay? And just emphasize the notes with a chord every now and then. And then we have this. Okay? Which is G. And this time you begin with 3 on the B string. Okay? So you can play the entire chord, strings 2, 3, 4, and 6. And then just a scale. 0, 2 on the G string, 0, 1, 3 on the B string, and then C. And you play strings 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay? And then you have the bar to fill. Again, fill it in any way you want. And then A minor. Okay? And you play strings 1, 2, 3, and 5 again. And then you play 2 on the G string. It's already on. And then 0, 1, 3 on the B string. Okay? And then open E string, and then you can play D and you can play D7, doesn't really matter. Okay? If you want a clean sound, play D. If you want a bit of a more sophisticated, just a bit more sophisticated sound, play D7. Okay? Doesn't matter because the melody note is 2 on the E string, so play strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you have this. Or, okay? And then B7. And you play strings 1, 2, 3, and 5. And then 0, 1, 3 on the B string. 0, 2 on the E string. And then E minor with 3 on the E string. Okay? Remember, we played this in my favorite things. So it's strings 1, 2, 3, and 6, all open except for the E string on 3. Okay? And then 2 and 0 on the E string, or you can pull off 3, 2 to 0 if you want an embellishment. And then C. Now you can play the chord, strings 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then the second string again. Okay? Or you can play the bass note and the E string, and then the second string. Again, up to you, your choice. And then D, same thing, either the chord and then the B string, or the first string and the D bass, and then the second string, whichever sounds good to you. Okay, it's C, D, and then G. Okay, strings 1, 2, 3, and 6, and this time you put the entire chord on, and you can go down the scale. Okay, if you want, you can add a line here. I play 3, 1, 0 on the B string and 2, 0 on the G string, and then I either start again. Or I play my favorite things again. Okay, I try to make it, I make a smoother transition. Okay, or I play B7 to get the E ready for E minor. Okay, and then I just start slower and build it up. And we need to go over the line again. So A minor, no, G. Okay, so it's G, 3 on the B string, then the scale, 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, C, A minor, scale, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, D or D7, B7, scale, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, and then 3 with the E minor chord, and then C, D, G. Okay, and you can make any line you want. Or okay, any line you want using the scale. Okay? The same scale you just played, 3, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. Okay, the G scale. So any line you can think of, or no line at all, you can just play the chord and then play Do Re Mi again, or play My Favorite Things again. So when you want to finish, you can finish on My Favorite Things and then end on the C major 7. Okay, that creates a sort of an interesting semi-jazzy ending because of the major 7. Okay, or this sound. Or you can make a line. Okay, or a solo. Okay, anything fits. Just again, try it. Okay, anything goes, as long as you're confident in your playing. It will sound good, trust me on this. Just try new things, try to play with this. Before you go, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's a ton of lessons here, so why not? What have you got to lose? Just click subscribe and learn. It's free. Go download the tab from the website. It's free as well, but if you want to give something back for this lesson, for my work on LickNRiff, for anything, just click the donation button. There's a donation button on the website, and I'd be grateful for any donation whatsoever. Everything goes back to LickNRiff, into making time to make these lessons, to make these arrangements, to practice these arrangements, to film the lessons, edit them, upload them. It all takes time and work. So any donation would be appreciated and will go into LickNRiff. So go practice this, get it on your fingers, make your own arrangement, okay? Do it. Don't play exactly like I did. I did everything I could, everything in my power, so you won't understand what I'm playing exactly, to get you a bit confused, so you'll have to try new things yourself, okay? The world doesn't need a copycat, but the world does need more musicians, okay? That's my opinion of things. Go play it, enjoy, get it on your fingers, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Don't forget to spread the word and tell other people about LickNRiff, and share this lesson if you want. Everybody has a right to learn it. Thanks for watching.